This violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Blame Your Brother, episode 54. We are the podcast that hates the Nazis the most, and we are coming at you again for another week in a row. That's right, Blame Your Brother, Nazi haters. All right, so there are three of us that come to you from this podcast every week. I am 1/3 of that trio. My name is David, a.k.a. D. Brew, voice of the people, the spiritual midget, the dictator, Mr. 40%, Glenn Jackson, Nick Nickum, so many more. And I'm joined every week by the person to the left of me, my actual brother. His name is Lee.
What's up, everyone? Alex Jones of the left, LeBron James Paperclip, and the true voice of the people.
And then I'm also joined by the guy to the right of me. His name is John.
Hey, everybody. John here, a.k.a. Tico, a.k.a. Mr. Groupon, a.k.a. Mr. PTI, a.k.a. the Madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman. They do have a madman. Okay, he's a madman.
There we go. The three of us bring you Blame Your Brother every week. So we're here. You can come join us live on YouTube, youtube.com/blameyourbrother/live. It's a lot. Or just go to youtube.com/blameyourbrother. Click on the link. And you can join us as we record the show live every Thursday at 8 p.m. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Many things to talk about this week. It's been a crazy week. But before we get started, the legal team, they came back. I talked to them. They said they will continue to listen and monitor the show. And just like every week, they want to know, first off, are there any apologies or retractions from last week's show? We start with Lee. Lee, is there anything you wish to apologize for? Or was there anything you were wrong about last week?
No.
All right. John, is there anything you need to apologize for or any retractions you need to make?
I do need to apologize. For 2 weeks ago, I made a comment that I did not deliver last week, and I still did not deliver this week either.
Okay.
But it will be coming. I have not I did not bring.
Yes, bring.
I have yet to bring suits. One from Groupon, one a $300 suit.
You got to wait till like the Groupon cycles back around or what?
No, I just have to. I keep forgetting that one of the suits needs dry cleaned. And
are you joking right now? Are you
no,
serious?
I just forgot to dry clean it this week. I've got quite a few suits, so I don't like.
Is that a humble brag right there?
Is that I've got quite a few.
I've got many suits.
It's not a humble brag when you're getting half of them from Groupon.
They need to be dry cleaned. They're very important. I'm very special. All right. Anyway, well, John did not deliver on his promise. Maybe next week. Who knows? We'll see. I do not have anything to apologize for. Next week, next Saturday will be the Rock and Pod Expo. The Rock and Pod Expo. We will be there. Please show up. Go to gofundme.com/rockandpodexpo. You can still get your tickets. $10 only. Get you in the door. It's a full day event. Ton of rock and roll icons, personalities. If you like Peter Criss of Kiss, he will have a person will have one of his drum sets set up there so you can take a picture with it. There's a lot of producers. A guy that I was listening to the latest episode of Decibel Geek, and the guy that produced Korn's Follow the Leader will be there. So, I mean, there's a ton. I mean, a lot of it is 80s oriented rock, but Gunnar Nelson's going to be there. I mean, surely you know who that guy is. There's going to be a ton of things. And even if you don't like maybe 80s rock, there's going to be a lot of podcasters there. You can come hang out with podcasters. Just make a day out of it. Have fun with it. It's going to be a great event. I can't wait to hang out. I'm going to go record with Michael Butler of the Rock and Roll Geek Show. I'm excited about that. So I can't wait for it. Next Saturday, it's going to be an all-day thing, like 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. We will be there. Come hang out with us and support Nashville podcasting. So I'm excited about that. So
can I just jump in here real quick?
Sure, man. Go for it.
Talk about something.
Do it.
So during that little bit there, you said the guy that produced the Korn song or whatever, right? So what if you were known as the guy who nobody knew your name? You were just always the guy who. Like, how famous are you?
I mean, he produced many more albums, but that's the one that stood out for David.
You don't even know his name.
A 90s. Well, I'm not familiar with a lot of these guys, but I was a 90s.
A lot, and in David's defense, a lot of people don't know the names of specific producers.
Yeah, obviously, I'm not
with
necessarily
the exception of like the big, like Mutt Lang and people like that.
I'm not talking about this guy in particular. I thought that was a funny like little phrase. Like if you were like,
if you're a producer, you didn't marry one of the people you were producing. People don't know your name. Okay.
Yeah, true enough.
Okay, we have to come up with something like the podcast. They were like, yeah, that the idiot Blame Your Brother or whatever.
Oh, that'd probably be any three of us. So that would make
narrow
sense.
that one down.
Yes. So so it'd be fun. There's tons of things. Come hang out. Conventions are fun, whether you love the material or not. It's always fun to people watch, meet new people, whatever. Come out. It's going to be fun. $10. It's going to be at 2415 Music Valley Event Center. Google it, find the address, or message us if you have any problems. And it's going to be fun. It's bringing together rock podcasters from all over North America, not just Tennessee. It's going to be memorabilia vendors, rock personalities. You can't beat it. So there you go. Please come out next Saturday. All right, guys. So me and John attended the Counting Crows and Matchbox 20 concert on Saturday. We got to hang out with Daniel, a listener of the show. We got to hang out with Joanna, our old drummer. Me and John hung out. We had a blast. John, what did you think of the concert itself?
I really enjoyed it. Counting Crows is by far my favorite band.
Right.
There's some songs that I didn't get to hear that I would like to, but if I heard every song that I wanted to, we would probably still be there. So.
Right, yeah. They could have went on for 3 hours. But
yeah.
I thought their set list was about perfect for what it was. It was the right length of time. And so Matchbox 20 got up, and here's what I noticed about Matchbox 20. I think the crowd was really into them much more than Counting Crows, but all their songs were like half a step slower. Did you notice that?
It seemed like that, and it also seemed like a couple of them they brought down in tone as well.
Yeah, and they had
the key was lower.
They had backing tracks, 100%. There's When You're Gone has an orchestra in it. That was definitely a backing track.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want them to do? Bring an orchestra out on their?
Well, I mean, they don't have a full orchestra. They have three horns, which isn't hard to do. Whenever Chicago,
right? Yeah.
Whenever Chicago tours, they bring all their horns.
Chicago is not having its farewell tour.
Well, this is not their farewell.
It should be.
Oh, please. But they were good. I enjoyed them. My wife went. She said they were, it was good. She's not big fans of either, but she enjoyed it as well. So everyone seemed to have a good time. I don't know. That's all I can say. We got some things to talk about beforehand. First off, John was wearing the Blame Your Brothers shirt. He represented the shirt. Him and his wife did. So that was cool. And John went with the Han Solo vest.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that fashion choice.
Hey, never tell me the odds, okay?
do you generally wear a vest when you go out, or
no? I figured it'd be appropriate for Counting Crows.
Okay,
a little too appropriate. We found out a little bit later, but yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, in front of me was a guy in a tie-dye shirt and a vest, just like John, but he was wearing a tie-dye shirt.
When he was coming across, I looked up and I was like, "Oh, dang it," because I knew David was going to say something.
That's that face win.
Yes. But anyway, yeah, so John and his wife rocked the BYB shirts. That was cool. And we got to hang out with Daniel. Daniel paid for our meal, so we do appreciate that. Big shout out to Daniel. He said, the best thing he said the entire night, he goes, this show used to be like I'm trying to think of how he worded it. He said basically it was oh, God, I can't remember what he said. Basically, it was like he had to listen to it because he knew us, but he said now it's a way of life.
Okay,
so
there you go. I
like that. It was pretty good. So, and we introduced a few new people to the podcast, so I'm sure they'll be checking it out and listen to it. So it was fun. It was fun to go out, hang out, walk around downtown. Downtown's changed a lot. It's crazy how busy it is down there, and I know it was fun. I just like going out and just hanging out with friends, listening to some live music, getting some food beforehand, and just walking around after. It was a blast.
So you had a really good night, huh?
Yeah, it was a good night. It was a blast.
Real good night.
Yes, a real good night. So, also, while we were down there, we discussed an idea we're going to float past all the listeners here. Now, I was on another podcast. We talked about doing this, and it never came to fruition, unfortunately. But we want to do the Blame Your Brother Pedal Tavern.
That's
Nashville
a good idea.
edition. And
explain to everyone that might not know what a pedal tavern is real quick.
So the pedal tavern is basically you get on this, basically it's a, how would I describe it? It's a large contraption that's like a big bicycle, and it's got 12 seats on it, and each person pedals, and that's how you get around town.
And it's almost like a double-sided bar.
Yes, a double-sided bar. You drink the entire time.
There we go. There's a picture of it.
You drive up and down Nashville. You play music, and you have a good time. And by the time you're done, you've drank enough where you're feeling very good. And if you've been downtown Nashville, you've definitely seen this. You've seen people on it. I've done it a couple of times. Me and Lee actually did it. We won 102.9 or 102.5 or 104.5.
Whatever.
The sports show, whatever, sports station. We got to go with them and do a pedal tavern. It was fun. So I've done it a couple of times. I would love to do it, get a couple of our listeners here local in town. We could record a couple of things, have a blast with it. So if you're interested, we can get 12 people. I mean, we pretty much got 6 right here. If us and our significant others want to do it, we would need about 6 other people to do it. And I believe Daniel said he would pay for it. If I'm not mistaken.
All we have to do is talk about his job.
All we have to do is talk about
at some point during the ride.
Discuss business. So
what's his job? Or should we save that one for the pedal tavern?
Yeah, we'll save it for the pedal tavern.
Or should we just go ahead and drop that now?
We'll just on the pedal. What happens on the pedal tavern state? And I've had some real good time. The last time we went on a pedal tavern, there was a seat open next to me, and so we're going down the street in this pedal tavern. You're moving at a pretty decent speed down a hill. And this guy just randomly from the streets jumped up in the seat beside me, started drinking some beer with me, stayed on it for like half a block. I took a selfie with us together, and then he jumped off right after that and just went to business. You're not supposed to do that,
right? Obviously,
but it was fun. It was
the spirits were flowing.
Oh yeah, I was feeling. I broke up a fight between 2 brothers. Talking about blame your brother. I broke up a fight across. All the people were like, "What are you doing? Don't go over there! Don't do it!" So I helped 2 brothers find each other's peace and harmony again. I was a hero that night. I was really a hero. So, but we would love to do that. So if you are in Nashville or you want to make a trip down to Nashville, let's make that happen. I think it would be a good time for sure. So
definitely. All
right. So we discussed that, and then I think that was about it for that night. I mean, it was we invited Lee out, but
actually I had an invite to go hang out with Rob Thomas. In Nashville.
Okay.
But then he decided to hop on his private jet and fly to Atlanta. So the Nashville just wasn't cool enough for Rob Thomas.
All right. Well,
you know who it would be cool enough for? Who's the other guy?
Adam Duritz.
Yeah, Adam Duritz. Adam Duritz would hang out in Nashville.
Adam Duritz got out of town quick.
I bet he was. Yeah, never mind.
He's probably gone before Matchbox 20 finished their
probably
set.
So. And they didn't come back out.
What does that mean?
He had to go. He had his wife and his kid with him. He announced it on stage. He did. He said, "There's my wife and kid in the front row." And I was like, "Okay, whatever, dude." But I mean, I love Adam Duritz.
So who put on the better show?
Oh, Counting Crows to me. I mean, John, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, the thing is like when it comes to concerts, if everything sounds exactly like it does on the album, you could have listened to the album at home. Whereas Counting Crows, they always put a spin on just about every song. It never sounds exactly like the album, but it's still good. And so, I would give props to Counting Crows.
Yeah, I loved it. The hippies in front of us loved Counting Crows. They thought it was a great show. So, and they were definitely having a big and rich good time. Let's just
what does
say
that
it like
mean?
that. They were just having.
I don't think that's a big and rich good time.
They were just having a good time.
They were enjoying themselves.
Just like Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson would be a better example.
As they sang in the song, "Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy," I was out having a Willie Nelson good time or something like that. There's some Willie Nelson line in that song, but anyway.
Just had to hit on Toby Keith before the show was over.
Yep, we got to do. We'll segue into Toby Keith sooner or later. But anyway. So, yeah, that was it. That was our weekend. Good times. And I'm looking forward to more concerts down the road. And maybe we can get people out as a big group and go to some. It'd be fun. So
it would be fun.
And, John, you're going to one this weekend, right? Who you going to see?
Tomorrow. I'm going to see Lifehouse and Switchfoot.
Lifehouse and Switchfoot. Lee.
Wow. That's kicking it on back, man. What brought that on? What made you want to?
The tickets were like $18 a pop. So I was like, hey.
Isn't like Switchfoot like a skateboarder punk band?
No, they're like a Christian band, really.
Oh,
I'm mainly for Lifehouse. We used one of their songs for wedding stuff when we got married. So I mean, we've got a pretty soft spot in our heart for them. So
there we go.
Name me one Lighthouse song that I would recognize.
I'm hanging by a moment here with you.
Do I know that song?
John, well, if you've ever gone karaoke with John, he's probably sang it before.
It's like 3 times the same night. We're gonna do this again.
Living here a moment here by you.
What about Switchfoot?
That Dare You to Move is their biggest hit.
Dare You to Move.
Bree said in the chat's blowing up tonight, so hopefully you come join us. But she said Switchfoot puts on a great show. Whatever that means. I couldn't point Switchfoot out if they were sitting next to us right now. I wouldn't know who these dudes
based
were.
upon their band flyer, it looks like a real good time.
And so from Bree, and he always comes into the crowd and stays after the show and does an acoustic show for people who don't have tickets. So
Wait,
there you go.
He comes out into the crowd and does an acoustic show for people that don't have tickets. That doesn't even make sense. Is he like out back in the alleyway or something?
That's Lee saying that, Bree, not us.
I don't know. Well, Tasha is pointing out in chat that David knew that song too quickly. Yes, because John used to sing it every time we went to karaoke.
Not every time. I would go back and forth between that and I'll Be.
Okay, there you go. It was one of two songs.
All right. So which one is Switchfoot and which one is Lighthouse?
Switchfoot's on the top. Lighthouse.
So if you had to be one person from Switchfoot, okay, we know that would be John, the one with the mustache.
Yeah, it does look like John, actually. I guess I'd be the guy on the I don't know, man. I guess that
you
guy
don't want to say the guy in the hat, but you know that's it. That's the one. You just don't want to say.
Okay, the guy in the hat would be me. Whatever, sure.
He's got kind of a weird haircut there.
He kind of looks like Macklemore.
Yeah,
we'll talk about Macklemore in a bit. That's
what about Switchfoot?
No, we just did Switchfoot.
Oh, Lighthouse.
Lighthouse. I know.
It's not Lighthouse. It's Lifehouse.
I keep saying Lighthouse.
Life.
As well. I would definitely want to be that lead singer, dude. I mean, come on, man. Those rest of those guys are lame. Dude.
Well, look, you got Ed Sheeran.
It was Ed Sheeran in Lifehouse?
No. Just said it looks
amazing.
Like, as we say, Ed Sheeran.
Sheeran.
All right.
He's like, his band was Lego House.
Well, good luck with that show.
Yeah,
John.
you'll have to let us know how that show goes,
sure.
man. It's good luck with that one. That same night, actually, Dashboard Confessional and All American Rejects were playing. I was kind of like jealous I didn't get to go to that show because
I'd been a show that I would
All right,
like
name
to
me
go to.
one Dashboard Confessional.
Oh, I love
song.
Dashboard Confessional.
Well, name me one.
I mean,
It has I in it.
Striking out.
You should have played up All American Rejects.
What was the other one?
Oh, All American Rejects.
Name me the All American Rejects.
Give You Hell.
Swing.
Dirty Secret.
Dirty Little Secret.
Yeah, they're good. I like both of those bands. So I love Dashboard Confessional though, and I mean, he's got a lot of songs that I don't know the names of them because I haven't listened to them in a while, but. Back in the early 2000s, dude, I knew all about Dashboard, man. I was all about them. So there you go. All right. So Bree loves them. She knows all the songs. Tell us a few songs. I don't know.
I guess I could look them up.
I loved all those, like, I like Taking Back Sunday, Brand New. I love all those, like, early 2000s, like, emo bands. I still love them today. I think Brand New is, like, a band that doesn't get enough credit in the world. They got some amazing songs that no one knows about. So, hands down is a... There we go, Dashboard song. So, yeah, I mean, they look about what you think they would look like. I mean, anyway. So, yeah, that show was going on at the same time. So, we went to Counting Crows.
They have a very similar look to both Lifehouse and...
well, yeah, I think all these bands came around at the same time, so they kind of look the same.
I don't even know their name anymore.
I mean, that guy's like a model, though, for... All American, like he was modeling for a while, and then I think he married a model or something. So
he's like, well, fuck.
He kind of reminded me of the dudes from Smallville.
Tom Welling.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, he looks like if you watch Smallville, they always have a certain.
Actually,
look.
a lot of these bands have had their songs have been on Smallville.
There you go.
So
I don't know how Dashboard Confessional has de-aged. That guy looks younger than when he came out, but I don't know. So. David, you're so hipster. Well, there you go. All right. So anyway, that's it.
True.
And a little bit.
All
right.
Moving
on. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. So we've got Dear John for sure. We've got a voicemail, which we might as well just go ahead and knock out.
All right. Go ahead. Knock it out.
Last week we said, Kim Jong-un called into the show and he's faded from pop culture this week. He's gone. I guess we played him. That's all he wanted to hear. So he's gone. So thank you, America.
He said his piece, I guess.
Kim Jong-un, we saved America from a nuclear strike. So you can send us money or gratitude. We made that not happen.
Yeah.
About playing his voicemail. That's all he wanted.
That's all he wanted. He wanted his voice heard.
He just wanted to be heard on the podcast. So I don't know what this voicemail is, but here we go.
My name is Vladimir, and I am a big fan of show. In my spare time, I like to lounge around shirtless and rig elections. I mean, just not forget the last part. Just playing. I never did that. Bye.
Wow.
There we go.
Here we go.
Vladimir Putin.
Ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
was that Putin? He
It
just
sounded
said
like
Vladimir.
well, it sounded like Pablo Escobar. Actually, I don't know, but he said his name was Putin.
Vladimir,
He
actually.
said Vladimir.
He didn't say Putin
He
at
didn't
all.
say Putin.
Do I like Fall Out Boy? I do like Fall Out Boy's first album. Yes, John, what do you think of Fall Out Boy?
I agree with the first album.
First album's phenomenal.
I couldn't name anything off
Sugar-
anything after that.
You've heard stuff. I mean, new stuff. It's not
yeah,
very
but
good.
I don't.
I was listening
Can't
to
recall
real
it, too.
music when all that trash came out.
I mean, we're going
so-
down sugar.
All right,
We're going down.
All right,
Sweeney.
Lee, let's go ahead and drop some names here. You're so quick to like.
Yeah, hipster man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which
Just-
band?
Who are you listening to?
I listened to a lot of Cake during that period.
We did too. That was before the 2000s, bro. That
Was
was
it?
like that was the mid 90s.
Yeah.
I think I was into disco and funk, like old school
Oh,
disco and
yeah.
funk
So
during all
What's that?
that.
Who did Lee? He KMFDM. That's
Oh yeah, I do
yeah,
like
he-
KMFDM.
Cool guy.
Just one
besides.
album though, really.
Cool guy
Nine Inch
besides
Nails
me.
was that during that time?
No, that was
No, that
like
was earlier.
early 90s, man.
Well, that's KMFDM was too.
I'll stand by Fall Out Boy's first album. I think it's great. I think Stump is a great vocalist. You know, I think the reason people don't like that band is because of Pete Wentz, the bass player, who started dating Ashley Simpson, married Ashley Simpson, had a kid with her, and then people just didn't like him because he was kind of a dick. I mean, he was kind of the Fred Durst factor. People didn't like the guy because he was in the band. That was it. And he's like, I write the lyrics, man. So what? So you write the lyrics, man. The true. So Stump was the lead singer of Fall Out Boy, and he was like 50 pounds overweight. And then somehow he went on a diet or something, and the dude was like 120 pounds soaking wet after that. So I don't know what happened.
Okay. What about Goldfinger? Was that
I love Goldfinger.
Here in
yeah.
My Bedroom or whatever?
Oh yeah, Goldfinger's
Whitey
great.
Ford, what band was he in?
Whitey Ford is Everlast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everlast.
Everlast.
Oh jeez.
Name
Louis.
one other song that he did.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I can't name.
I mean,
the
I
shit.
just consider that Everlast.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the other? What was the big band that had like the Nurse CD cover?
Oh, Blink 182.
Yeah, Blink 182.
So you wait a second.
I didn't really listen to much Blink 182. I was just throwing that
You're
out because I knew
knocking
people
it
would
out.
think it was
Love
popular.
Blink 182.
I love Blink 182. I think
Yeah.
they're a phenomenal band. Even they just come out with an album which was really good. So
You guys have always been more punk rock than me. For sure.
yeah, I did. I mean, I loved.
I like some punk rock, but like here's the thing. Here's the distinction. Like me, I love Green Day, like the first two albums.
Okay.
After maybe the first 3 or 4, depending on what you consider their albums. Everything after that was just they sold out and they went horrible. But you guys are like, oh no, man. Like it just kept being better and better, and it's
It
like
did.
it
There's
didn't.
there's
It
self
didn't, though.
no. There's self. Oh, Green Day, American Idiot is one of their greatest.
American Idiot,
Is
the
their
Green-
greatest
no.
album. It's their greatest album.
No,
Oh
Dookie,
yes,
for
no.
sure.
No.
Their breakthrough album.
No.
Yeah.
Dookie's number 2.
We're never gonna agree on this.
No, we're not because you're wrong. All right. So, anyways, enough music talk. Go check out Cooter and Minx for more music. They did worst songs of the 2000s. I agreed with a lot of their songs. If you go and listen to the episode.
What did you disagree with the most about?
Killers are not a bad band. I'm sorry.
I love the Killers.
The Killers are great. Bones. They were saying. Cooter was saying Bones is a terrible song. Bones is
no,
phenomenal.
it's a good song.
Is that one of their best songs, man?
Yeah.
So anyway, I love the Killers. They're great, and I can't remember. I mean, they did obviously Black Eyed Peas, Humps. I mean, it's one of the worst songs ever written. But
So what do you think about like Sublime versus 311? Is that even a?
Oh yeah, so they did. Okay,
is that even a thing?
I said Sublime because I hate 311. I think they're
311
terrible.
is. You want to know one of the 311 is not that bad of a band.
Oh, they are.
But technically, they're really good. You know what makes 311 one of the worst bands of all time?
Sure, go ahead.
They're fans.
I think them. Have you seen?
No, they're fans.
Pull a picture up of
They're
311.
I don't think it's fair to judge a band based on their fans.
Here's what's amazing.
What? It's not fair to judge a band based on their fans.
People didn't like Limp Bizkit because of their fans. I think it's a fair assumption. I mean, usually the fans embody what the band's about, though, most of the time.
Most
Not
of the
every
time.
time, but a lot of the time. 311, they're just like 5 white guys that thought they were
frat.
like,
It's
hey,
like
man,
frat rap,
we're
right?
reggae man, hey man, we're from Jamaica man, hey.
So they're like the
Look at those
UB40
guys.
from.
Bro, they're the worst guys ever.
All right, which one of those guys would you be?
Oh, I'd shoot myself.
I think you'd be the one in the red.
I mean,
for
that guy on the
sure,
right
David.
looks like a Dave Matthews reject, man. What's going on there? So, hey, I'm Dave Matthews, man. Can I sneak in?
Crash into me. No, dude.
John is the one with the goatee and the sunglasses for sure.
I would pick Sublime. I think they got, but I've never heard that song. We talked about this off the air, and then they talked about it in the episode. I've never heard the song Amber in my life, dude.
Sublime is a great band. band.
Sublime's
I don't,
good.
why do people hate? Do people hate Sublime? Really?
Yeah, they rock. They said that one of their songs indicates statutory rape.
I'm sure.
I don't know.
What songs don't though? Like which?
Young girl, get out of my mind. I mean, Gary Puckett. That's all he was singing about. Like you know, Jerry Lee Lewis married his 13-year-old cousin.
Puckett might
Don't
not
stand,
be
don't stand so close to me.
That's the Police. True. So, so I mean, guys. Rock stars, they sing. She's only 17. All right, so there's a number of songs about nailing underage
You're not
girls.
gonna do Hey 18 or whatever.
I don't know that. I mean, if I did, I would. But anyway, Sublime would win. So, anyways, go check out their podcast. You can weigh in on who's better, Sublime or 311. All right. So
Well, 311's still alive, right?
Yeah, well, Sublime 2/3 are still alive. The main guy killed himself, and then they went on tour without him, which. I don't like that. Like, we were a band and I died. Would you guys keep going on without me, honestly?
Well,
Were we making money?
You made us.
Yeah.
You made us promise that if you died a horrible death, that we had to do the podcast.
It's true. Okay, fair enough. All right.
You wouldn't go. You wouldn't.
I mean, if one of you died, I'd be the talent. So, yeah, I'd keep going on. I mean, but if I die and I'm the talent.
The sun's got to shine, baby. The sun's got to shine.
You got to start a new band. I would be the center of the band. Like, what if Nirvana would have got back together? I'm the Kurt Cobain of this podcast.
It did.
And
It
of
was
our
called
band.
Foo Fighters. Wasn't it?
Okay, well, it's a different band. Exactly. That's the whole point. It was a different band. It wasn't Nirvana with... Like Alice in Chains did it. I went and saw them, and they were just terrible.
Hey, what about like AC/DC with that guy from Australia that sounds just like him or whatever?
Okay, so that's one exception where it
What
kind of
about,
worked.
I'm just asking. I'm not judging.
Van Halen's done it multiple times.
Oh,
I
gosh.
mean,
It's a revolving door with them.
yeah, there's people that do it. Queen still does it today. But
So what if someone like Michael Jackson did it? But it wasn't Michael Jackson.
his brother does it. I'm Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson with Tito Jackson.
Jermaine.
Michael Jackson with Tito Jackson.
It's
Wow.
just him doing all of his songs. That would be terrible. Yeah, it would be bad. So,
I'm looking at some guy that's not in the mirror.
but I actually I work with that's good.
Is it?
I work with a guy, and he actually said that he prefers Brian Johnson over Bon Scott, which is absurd. I didn't know people thought that way. Bon Scott is like the best singer that AC/DC's ever had,
Dude,
right?
that's the thing. Like everyone's gonna have their own
But they're
opinion
wrong.
about music.
Brian Johnson is not as good as Bon Scott.
Well,
That's
that
ridiculous.
guy obviously liked him more.
Who's the best singer for Van Halen?
Who's the best singer or the best entertainer? See, that's two
Was
different
there
questions.
ever a good singer in
the
Van
best
Halen?
Oh, yeah, Sammy Hagar.
Sammy Hagar is better, but
great.
David Lee Roth is the entertainer.
is better in the band, 100%. Yeah, the songs are much better with David Lee Roth. So, I mean, that's just how it goes. But anyway. All right. We got news, unfortunately. We're going to get away from the fun stuff and go into, we'll get into this in a minute, but I've been reading a lot this week. So I've got thoughts on these topics. And we want to start by saying whatever we say.
This was the only. This is the only way the lawyers would come back if you drop this disclaimer.
Yes.
Disclaimers all around.
We all hate Nazis, right? We hate.
Yeah,
Okay.
not a fan.
Okay. All right. Just want to get to that before anything goes
Is that
off.
like the most American thing you can do? Is hate a Nazi?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
All right. So if you didn't catch this week in Charlottesville, there was a massive incident, massive event. One person died. I mean, that is tragic in itself. Many people were injured because
Yeah, but how did they die?
they got run over by a white nationalist in a car who ran them over.
I know.
In a pickup truck.
But he didn't just run them over. He ran into a crowd of
Yes,
people.
it's terrible. No, it is bad. It's terrible. But here's what happened. So the white nationalists is the new name for Nazis, but they are what they are. They're white
They're
people.
called white nationalists.
White nationalists or the alt-right is what they've been deemed.
The
here.
alt-right.
They were
White
having
nationalists.
an event. They got permits. They were there to march for whatever reason. I guess they're taking down some statue of some redneck guy that was in a war a long time ago.
Is it Robert E. Lee?
Whatever. I mean, sure.
I think it's a Robert E. Lee statue.
Sure, Robert E. Lee, the guy that was a traitor to this country. Yeah, we got statues up of these
He
people.
burned. He burned.
I mean, anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. So they were there. They were protesting. Then what did you say the other people called? Antifa?
Antifa.
Okay, so Antifa, the alt-left, show up, and they start fighting, and the police are not doing their job, and stuff gets out of control, and now it was just, it's a cluster of a situation. And here's the unfortunate thing, or fortunate, however you want to look at it about America. They have the right. Yeah, I want to talk about the helicopter crash in a minute. I'll see that in the chat. But because 2 officers died in a helicopter crash, which no one has talked about. And it's very weird that a helicopter just crashed in the middle of the
Well, it had problems before.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just weird. But anyway, okay, so these guys, unfortunately, whether you agree with the message or not, they have the right to peacefully assemble and march down the streets. That's just the way this country.
That is not peacefully assembling.
That's not them.
Putting a flag on a pole.
That's not them.
Yes, it is. This is the whole thing was organized by Based Stickman, the blogger.
Okay,
and this is his thing. This is what he does. He tells people to put a flag on a stick and call it a flagpole.
Okay.
And they can't stop you from bringing it in.
All right.
And then when the things go down, what do you do?
So this is let's go back to that. So this is the Nazi marching orders. What, a stick, a baseball helmet?
Well, that's a meme. They're saying steal his look.
I gotcha.
And it could be, I mean, that's what he wears. So these people were wearing like more military gear than the police officers were.
Well, let's get into this then. So do you think that Nazis, and like I said, we hate Nazis, and I really do hate Nazis. I mean, they're everything that would be fundamentally wrong with an individual, but they have the right to peacefully assemble, right? I mean, they have the right to march and say, we hate black people.
Yes,
we wish they would die.
Assemble is one thing. That's when you're saying, I wish people would die. Is that really peaceful?
Well, as long as you don't act on it, isn't it? I mean, when did the clash start?
Hate speech is hate speech, man.
Yeah.
You can't let people assemble and spew hate speech.
That's
not peacefully assembling.
Where do you draw the line, though?
Yeah,
where do you stop?
Give me another example, and I'll tell you. Like when Martin Luther King was walking through the streets, they weren't spreading hate speech.
Well, the Black Panthers were very militant,
and
said,
nobody was happy about them doing that.
But did they have the right to do it? Is the question.
I mean, some people were saying no. That's why a lot of their meetings were in private.
But we can't.
And they were planning on doing horrible things to people.
But you can't talk about this without. Okay, so Donald Trump came out this week and had a press conference after this happened. And I think they just wanted him to pretty much. So I was watching CNN. I was very, I was interested in this event. I feel it's, a big news story, obviously, and I think it's probably a microcosm of what's happening in America. But it was a big event. So, so Donald Trump didn't denounce it quickly enough for the left, of course. I mean, at this point, people that love Trump love him. People that hate him hate him. I mean, that's nothing's going to change their mind. No tweet he sends out, nothing he says on the microphone. We had a press conference and he was I denounced him. He was doing good, and then it took a left turn, and he said, "Well, the left was much to blame as them, and there's some good people out there." And then everybody lost its mind, and now the Republicans have essentially turned against Trump. They're all saying they want him to denounce.
You got to get off that ship quick.
I mean,
rats always know when a ship is sinking.
Number one, is the ship sinking, John? Is the Trump ship seriously sinking at this point?
I mean, they don't have anything substantial to impeach him. But I mean, there's nothing that's going to get him reelected at this point.
I mean, is it his place as the president to come out and say, "I do not"? Do we as people? Do we as the president? Does he have to say, "I denounce Nazis"? Like, is that something we have to do as white people? Like, do we have to meet people and go, "Hey, by the way, I hate Nazis"?
But I'm
not for them. I'm against them.
But you're leaving all the context out of the situation.
Give the context.
During the running for his presidency, this came up as a talking point.
Yes, it did.
And people like, "Are you going to denounce this guy that was part of the KKK?" And the guy's like, "I'm not going to do it."
I don't know enough about that to make a comment.
So yes, if you're president of the United States and win your campaign, you deny Nazis, and then the Nazis start killing people, yeah, it's going to come up. And yeah, you need to come out and say more like, okay.
I agree. I cannot give. I mean, dude, I want to give Trump a shot every week. I do. I really want this guy to succeed. He's the president.
I can tell.
I mean, I want him to.
I think whoever the president
is,
it's
funny that you're
as
still
an
holding
American,
out on him.
I think you should feel that way towards whoever is president.
If Hitler was president, you'd be like, "Oh, let's give him another chance."
No.
That's what I'm saying. You can't give someone a chance just because they're president. You have to base it on their actions.
You want that person to succeed as a president, no matter who the president is.
I don't think that your idea of success and Donald Trump's idea of success line up in any way whatsoever.
Okay, fair enough.
So no, I don't want him to be successful because in his world,
I'm saying as a blanket definition of success would be that this person did what was best for the country. Would you agree?
But that's not what he wants to
Hold
do.
on.
If
Would
that's
you
what
agree?
yes. If a
All
president,
right, I think that's what David's saying when he says he wants to root for Trump because he wants Trump to do what's best for America.
I think we all want him to do that.
That's all. I think
That's what I'm saying.
That's
The
what he's
problem
saying.
is he hasn't even come close to
when
doing
he makes,
anything.
but when he comes out and just does stupid stuff like this, you can't say there were good people in that crowd because number one, how do you know there were good people in the crowd? Or you know people that were there? We've got to judge it based on these idiots right here. You know, with these tiki torches.
Look,
Let's just
anyone
get
that
this out.
gathers and worships a statue is an idiot.
We missed it last
Okay?
week.
That's it.
We're going
That's
to do
all
it
you need to
again this
know.
time. Idiot of the week.
Oh my God, I am surrounded by idiots.
To the idiot mobile. You idiot.
You're an idiot.
Well, that's because you're an idiot.
All right, so the idiot of the week is every white nationalist.
Every
that was
white person in America.
Every white person. Every white nationalist that was there, you know, I call them the idiots of the week. I just marching toward any goal thinking you're going to rid the country of black people and it's going to make this, and the Jews, it's going to make this country better. You're an idiot. I mean, that doesn't even make any sense whatsoever. Like, it's what are these guys so upset about? I don't understand. What are they upset? They honestly think like their time is up in this country? Then good, you had your run. Like if that's all it
Good,
took,
you had your run.
if all it took to get you out of the spotlight, which isn't even true, but is what a black president being there and taking down these statues. If that's really going to kill your status in this country, then maybe you don't need to be here. You know.
Okay, well, can we just back up for a second and just
Sure.
talk about the statues? Do you have a problem with statues? Because we have a statue on I-65. Now that is on private property. Just so you know, that's not anything to do with Nashville.
Do I have a problem with the statues? Yes, for a number of reasons.
Okay, break it down for us.
Number one, the only reason these statues were put up, if you look at it historically, we need to go back to actually the Civil War. Now, the Civil War, and I'm sick of people not saying this, the Civil War was fought over slavery. You can say what you want to say. It was about them succeeding from the Union, but the reason they succeeded, and it was all of their succession notices, was to keep slaves. That's the whole reason. We lived in a country at some point where we thought it was all right to literally own another man, own a group of people and get them to do all the work for us. That's unacceptable at any point in history, okay? They put up these statues because they lost the war. But in their eyes, they didn't lose the war. They just fought a good battle.
The South will rise again.
So they put up these statues as a reminder of we didn't really lose the war. We fought the good fight, and so we're still here.
the battle.
There should not be a statue or a bust of Nathan Bedford Forrest at the Capitol Hill. That's stupid. Why is this guy in Capitol Hill? He never served any capacity. He was a bad man. People go, he changed at the end of his life, and it's like, on the deathbed, we're probably all going to change. We're probably all going to go, yeah, all the
time to repent.
all the
Yeah.
bad things I did, I want out. So do I have a problem with them taking them down? Okay, on the private property issue, like you said, there's a big statue, massive, Nathan Bedford Forrest.
It's really ugly too.
It's ugly, and it's on private
You know why
property.
it's so ugly? Because people keep chopping his head off.
Oh.
And he has to put it back on.
It's so bad. So that one, if I had my way, I'd take it down. But it's part of free speech. We can't take it down. It's in the man's.
Oh, you can take things down. We talked about it last week. If you have a blow-up doll in a window.
Well, they did it in Durham, and they are being charged. So a group of people in Durham, North Carolina, tore down a statue in front of a government building, and they're being charged with felonies because you can't tear the things down. You've got to go through the process. You have to trust the process that is America. That's the problem with it.
What would Ronald Reagan say?
I don't know, man.
He'd say, David, tear down that statue.
Well, if the ghost of Ronald Reagan comes to me and tells me to tear it down, I'm going to tear it down. I just think I don't understand why these statues are up around town. I don't. What do you think? What do you think they should be up? Like
they don't bother me. Like what is the like? Is it becoming a symbol of racism? Because that's the same thing with the rebel flag, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like some people fly the rebel flag and they say it's heritage, not hate.
Right.
But some people fly it because they hate people and they want people to know. So which one is it? Like when I see a rebel flag, I immediately think, oh, that person is a racist.
Oh, immediately.
And they hate black people.
Yes, I
right?
immediately think that
is
too.
that I've never felt that way about statues, but now is that the way it's going to be now? If you like these statues, I will say there's places in Tennessee that have statues, and when you go there, you immediately want to leave.
Yeah, no, it's
because it's a bad place. So maybe people are right. Maybe statues do indicate.
They do. Well, the white
Racism.
nationalists are starting to seize that as their thing. Like the Nazi symbol wasn't always a bad symbol until Hitler claimed it as his symbol, you know. I just think we should take them down in government buildings and facilities. For sure, I don't think the rebel flag should be in a government facility or and I'm a white guy. I can only imagine if I was a black man in America. I'm going into the legislative building to go see a representative. I look up and there's a golden bust of Nathan Bedford Forrest.
I mean, he was a leader.
He was a founder of the KKK, man.
Okay, that's bad. That's true.
He killed numerous black people, dude.
But what? Okay, Robert E. Lee didn't.
Well,
wait. Robert E. Lee was.
He was the general of the Confederate Army.
Oh, okay. So Robert E. Lee didn't found
Brother,
the KKK.
These guys are traitor. They were terrorists at the time. So we got statues up honoring terrorists.
But if the South would have won, the other people would have been the terrorists.
Well,
it's just, I mean,
yes,
like
true.
At one point they were part of the Union, and he was a well-respected man in general. It's only when it split apart that he became a traitor and a terrorist.
Yeah, no,
right?
Terrorists are the losers. That's what you gotta say. Like when we fought against Britain, we were terrorists, but we won, so we were the heroes.
We're not terrorists. We're freedom fighters.
We're freedom fighters. So that's really how you look at it. John. What do you think about these statues?
My thing is at the end of the day, whether the statue remains up or it's torn down, or is anybody's life significantly going to be changed? No.
I mean, maybe it matters to a black family that has to look at every day. Like I say, you only look at things from your perspective. You know, I mean, what if there was a big statue of Jesus in front of the legislative plaza? There'd be a problem with it because it's a religious statue. I mean, what's the difference there? I mean, Jesus, you can't say he was a terrorist or, well, I guess the Roman
he was
Empire.
A freedom fighter.
The Roman Empire did actually say. But anyway, in modern society, he's not viewed as a terrorist. He's viewed as he's the basis of our country, essentially, you could argue. But would that be a problem? A big statue of Jesus in front of the Capitol Hill state building. Remember, I'm not saying private property.
I know,
but a state building.
Or the Ten Commandments.
I agree with you on the presence of putting them up in the first place being wrong, but the fact that they're already up and we didn't hear anything about these statues 20 years ago.
But does it bother you that they're being torn down? That's really
it doesn't bother me.
That's what you have to ask.
If they take them out, I don't
really have to
care.
ask
if that they're being torn down or the way they're being torn down.
Torn down, just
in Charlottesville, they're not being torn down. It was like they passed a law and we're going to remove it.
If you're going through due process and you're going to, and they're removing it through legal means, then I'm fine with it. But people forming mobs and tearing stuff down,
no. You cannot be.
That.
Yes, you cannot be for mob law or mob rule ever. No. I mean, that's bad.
What if those guys are just alpha and y'all are betas?
I mean, if those guys are alpha, I want to be a beta. I would never want to be part of that group.
I wouldn't want to be distinguished with those.
I mean, so what I would say, I'm not saying people, you're going to erase our history. No, history is in museums. Okay, so let's take the statues down, put them in a history, put them in a museum, put them in a memorial or something like that. I have a problem with them in state-funded buildings. That's the big problem with me.
Okay, I think we all agree. Let me just bring it back to the beginning here. Okay. So this originally started as a free speech. So what do we do with these people?
You let them. I mean, you gotta let them march. Unfortunately, I mean, you gotta let them march. I mean, unfortunately, I hate them. I can't stand them. But if they're not inciting hate,
you don't think this is inciting hate, though?
No. I mean, if you look at this picture, we're looking at them.
There's a guy that drove a car into a crowd of people.
No, it got bad after that. But at this point, the picture we're looking at, they're marching down the street with tiki torches. I don't think.
Are they going to a luau? I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Do they? I mean, that's cultural appropriation at its finest hour. But anyway, these guys. And now,
a tiki torch is cultural appropriation.
It's not their culture, and they're definitely trying to seize it as their own.
I think they just went to Walmart. That's the thing. Like,
and this is
how
divided.
Are you going to make a torch?
The chat is dividing on this immensely.
The chat is divided.
But this is the thing. We as a country are getting to the point where we can't even have conversations with each other about this without the other side going, well, you're a Nazi, you're a racist, or the other side going, oh, you're a communist, you hate America. Like, why can't we just sit down and say, hey, this is why I like it, this is why I don't,
But your statue's got to go.
But the statue's got to come down, guys, okay?
I mean, they passed the law, right? I mean, that's the end of it.
I mean, I just say, like I said, why are we defending these statues? Is it freedom of speech? Then we can have that conversation.
Well, what is it? It's like first they took my slaves, then they took my statue.
That's about that.
Then I looked around and there was no one else to take.
Put that on a shirt, you know.
There you go. They could actually probably sell.
First they took my slaves, now they took my statues. So it's a big deal. I mean, if you want to chat with us about it and get engaged with it, and we'll have civil conversations about it, I would love to hear what you got. I mean, we're hearing a lot. I'm reading the chat. I mean, I'm not responding to all of it because it's a lot, but it is a divided issue. And this country right now is divided on matters of race. I mean, you can argue. I mean, people said it was happening during.
That we already went through this.
Because
I can tell you why we're divided on race.
So,
you don't come out of the womb knowing that 2 + 2 is 4.
I mean,
you don't come out. You don't instantly know how to speak fluent English or Spanish or wherever you're from. You are taught certain ways. These people were taught to be racist.
Yeah, that's true.
So we take people's kids from them? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, maybe that would be the ideal. Well, you can't do that. But.
I'm
you would agree with that. Sure.
That contrary information and lessons need to be taught from the get-go that's not the way things are supposed to be.
Well, Sammy says, because you can't say anything proud about being white, why would you be proud of being white? It's something you're essentially born. You can be proud of what country you originated from. I don't have a problem with that. Hey, I'm Irish.
Wait, why can you be proud of your country and not your race?
Because your race has nothing to do with white. There's white all over. What are we proud of as white people? Like, I'm starting to, like, what are we proud of? Okay,
I'd have to agree with David on this. A country changes and it morphs, and since you're part of it, you can be proud of it. Being white, you had nothing to do with that whatsoever.
Nothing at all.
If you were living in a country that you don't like, you can move.
Right.
For the most part.
Right. But you can't change your race.
You can't change your race. There's nothing you do. You can be proud of your talents. You can nurture those. You can make them better. You can't get more white or less white.
But, I mean, we've talked about this before. What should we as white people be proud of? I mean, we came over. We stole this country. We killed the Native Americans. We picked up slaves. We kept them for a while. Then we passed Jim Crow laws where they didn't have any rights. Women didn't have any rights. So white males, we were silencing women. Hold on. And so now, you know, what are we proud of? Are you proud of any of these moments in the white man's history?
White people go way back before America. But here's the thing. Is there an actual legitimate difference between white people and people of other color? Or white people, black people, brown people, black people? Is there a legitimate difference?
Yes, because if we were grabbed up by Africans and taken to Africa as white people, then we would obviously be struggling to break free.
I'm not talking about the history. I'm talking about like right now. Is there a real legitimate difference at a genetic level?
I would say no.
Okay, then why are we even discussing it?
Well,
why
because
is it even an issue?
Well, because it's being talked about.
That's what I'm saying.
Not me. You're never going to send me.
I think we agree with you, Lee. We know where you're coming from, but...
And then Brandon's in chat.
What can we do to fix it?
Brandon said, should we change the dollar bills? Sure, why not? Let's change the dollar bills too. Why are we so tied into these symbols? I want to be on
a dollar bill.
Well, we've already changed them. What, the $10 bill or the 20? Which one's being changed?
Are we?
The 10.
The 10's being changed.
What are we changing it to?
You know what? Change Rosa Parks. No, not Rosa Parks. I'm sorry.
Harriet Tubman?
Harriet Tubman,
What was it? Well, who's on the 10?
Andrew Jackson.
No, Jackson's on the 20. Hamilton's on the 10.
I'm good with the dollars being changed. I could care less.
We don't even know.
He don't even know who's on it.
Have you ever looked at a dollar bill and just went, man, this dude is the best guy ever.
George Washington?
I'm going to keep this.
Dollar, y'all.
I'm going to keep this dollar forever because I'm proud of this man on the dollar. I don't care. An alien could be on it. Is it worth money? You know, so anyway, that being said, that is that. Like I said, it's unfortunate someone died there for sure. It's it's tragedy. And the officers died. I don't even know what that's about, but that's
the time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
We got to get off this topic.
All right, let's go. Big event coming up. Big event coming up on Monday. We have the Solar Eclipse of 2017. Michael Anthony wants to know from us, what are you guys planning on doing on the Solar Eclipse Day, which is August 21st?
Having a viewing party, dog. What else?
Okay,
what else is there to do?
What are you doing? Where at? What's going on?
East side. I don't know. Down the road.
Do you have plans, or are you just talking?
I think Mr. Brandon's actually having a viewing party. He said he was. No.
Okay.
If not, I'll just go outside and watch it.
Yeah. Do you have glasses at this point?
I don't, but he said that he had some extra that he was going to try to sell people.
Yeah, they're going for like $20 a pop now, which is totally absurd. John, you got any big plans?
I'll probably just step outside and just watch it on our street.
Do you have glasses?
Yeah, I've got some.
Good. Hey, I'll be at work. We're having a big thing at work. We're going to the rooftop downtown, so we'll have a good view. And
nice.
It's awesome. I mean,
you should go get some tiki torches and make it like a luau.
Yeah, there we go. Just march up the side of the building with them
and be like, no, this is for the eclipse.
The last time we've had a full eclipse over Nashville was about 20 years before Columbus set sail.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's like a once in a lifetime thing. It's awesome. It shows, and me, I love nature and events like this that show us really how small we are. I love storms because I think in storms show us how minuscule we are as human beings, where the earth almost doesn't really care about us. Like, yeah, you're here, you're doing your thing, but this
Guess
thing
who's really the boss?
Yeah, nature is the boss. Like, and this solar eclipse is going to be awesome. I'm excited about it. So Michael Anthony wants to know what we're going to be doing. So I will
Did he happen to mention what he was doing?
And no, he won't. But he'll tweet at us. But being in Nashville is a great thing for this because that's going to be one of the good spots where you can see
it's going right over Nashville.
Totality.
You pull up a map and see the path.
So they say a lot of traffic's going to be coming in. It's going to be crazy. So guys, hopefully you have plans to do something there that day. Okay. All right. Do we have any other?
Did we even August 21st, right?
August 21st.
That's Monday?
That's Monday.
It's a Monday.
That's a
August
Monday.
21st, 2017.
All right.
So one of the few times you can say Happy Monday and it means something good.
It actually means something. So, okay. Any other topics that we had on the agenda? I send topics and I forget what.
Nope.
Topic. All right, good. All right, Trump, he's an idiot too, so whatever. All right.
Yeah,
so
we talked about it.
I just want to say Trump's a moron.
Oh, that's a first.
No, it's not a first. I've said many times on this program.
Okay.
All right, so I guess we got to
is.
that. So speaking of, well, not idiots. No, we would never say that. But our friend John gives advice to people in the Dear John segment. All right, so Dear John, people write into us. Hey, here's a new way to write into us. You want to be anonymous, I understand that. Now on the website, if you go to bybpod.com, there is a section on the right side where you can fill out a contact form. You don't have to leave your real email, real name, or anything, but you can put a message, and it comes right to us. So if you want some questions answered, you want to be anonymous, write to us. It's easy enough to just go to the website and do it. So anyway, someone wrote in. Lee's going to read it. John's going to give advice. Here we go.
All right, this week we actually have two.
Wow. We doing both?
Speed round.
All right, here we go.
Okay, I haven't had a job for almost 2 years. My wife has been working during that time. We have two girls I take care of as a stay-at-home dad. Although I'm always looking for work, I haven't found anything, and it's driving me crazy. I have edited and re-edited my resume, but nothing has happened. My question is, do women and men think stay-at-home dads are lazy people who leech off their wives? I have to admit, negative thoughts have crossed my mind, and sometimes worry that people, relatives, think I'm low-life or incompetent. Is this true? From Stay-at-Home Dad.
You haven't worked for 2 years. In my opinion,
oh no,
if you want a job, you could get a job.
Oh no.
But that being said, I don't have any problem with a stay-at-home dad. If you're going to make less money than childcare costs, then stay at home. No biggie there. A lot of people there is a stigma about men who don't work. And there have been periods in my life where I didn't have a job. I was in between jobs, and I felt pretty depressed about it myself.
I mean, you think men are more tied into it than women are?
You're just waiting for a misogyny alert, aren't we? Go ahead and play it.
Yeah,
sure,
you do.
Yeah,
okay, there we go.
There we go.
Misogyny alert.
I knew you were baiting. I knew that was coming. Anyway.
So to you, it matters more that the man is working than the woman. In your opinion, it's your segment.
And this man.
The bishops are listening, John.
This man, yes.
All right. So women can stay at home, take care of the kids, no biggie.
If it works for that family, sure.
So yes, you're telling stay at home.
Misogyny alert.
Okay. Well, John says yes. You're a moocher, you're a slacker, whatever guy. Thanks for writing into us. All right.
I just want to throw in and say this guy's my hero. I've always wanted to be a stay-at-home dad. I think that's just great.
I would stay at home every day of my life if I didn't have to work.
No, I'd love to do it too, but
wait, you just said no, you couldn't. You said you were just depressed when you couldn't go to work in your Groupon suit or whatever you're doing. Is that what it's about?
Bitch, you better get in that kitchen.
So basically, the mooch. He's a moocher. Okay, all right. So
I think he's a hero. But
you-
anyway, moving on.
Moving on to the next one.
This next one comes in. John, I'm working at a place with a large number of women, and I'm always polite around them. Yesterday, one of the ladies asked why I was such a snowflake. I've listened to your show for a while now, and I know this is an insult. What should I do to lose this title? Should I stop being so passive and polite? Help. I guess it's from help.
Okay,
From help.
help.
From Snowflake,
So-
actually. It was from
From
Snowflake.
Snowflake.
Here
The
we
snowflake.
go. The finger's on the trigger again.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it's on the trigger.
Go
Here we
ahead.
go. All right, as we can see from news from the past week, no matter which side you are on, if you are extremely far left or far right, you look like an idiot.
Well, that's not. He said.
Hold
that-
on, let me.
Let him give his
what
advice.
I would do is next time a topic came up and they ask you your opinion, just go extremely far right with it, and just
Oh
to,
my God.
just to
Oh my
show,
God.
like devil's advocate, right?
No.
And show them how kind of ridiculous certain things could be.
I want to reiterate what I said at the beginning of the show. We do hate Nazis
We
on
do
this
hate
show.
them. We do hate
John, I want to
Nazis.
make sure I heard you right because sometimes I'm not listening.
I just said that
You're
they
saying
sound like idiots when they do that.
My man, next time these women who he works around, who thinks he's polite and passive, so they call him a snowflake, probably jokingly, he should just go far right and destroy whatever conversation they're having. That's how this guy gets ladies at his work.
Getting ladies at work.
My God, man.
Here's how you get. Tell us, David. How do you get the ladies at work?
I would not say go far right. Here's what I would say to you, sir, or ma'am. Maybe you're transgendered. I don't know. Maybe you're Toby Keith.
You just
I don't
assume
know.
their gender.
I don't know. Well, he said he's a guy, but anyway, maybe he's transitioning. Whatever you are, sir, ma'am. I would say if you don't want to be thought of as passive and polite, step up and just grow a set. And just if you, don't go far right. Don't start yelling Hitler's name or something in the office because it's going to get you fired. But just be more of a man. You know, there are roles, whether we want to admit them or not. And I think those are kind of fading. But women do, for the most part, and there are exceptions, do expect certain things out of a man. They do expect them a lot of time to step up and just, maybe ask the girl out. That's still a common thing. I know.
What are you? He's talking about. He says he starts out. I'm always polite around women. So women don't want you to be polite around them.
They want a little bit of a bad boy. You don't have to smack them, but they do want a little bit of a badness in you. They don't
say, who cares? This guy didn't say he's trying to hook up with all the women in the office.
Well, that's obviously why it bothered him. Why would he be writing
He's
in?
probably just a polite person. Don't change because of what somebody else thinks.
Step
You
up.
continue to be you, and F those people. Come up with a derogatory name for them.
I would
start
say-
spreading it around the office.
I would say be a little bit more like me in your office, and you will be loved by everyone. So that's what I would say. John agrees with me. So that's the Dear John segment for this week.
Oh, gonna have to find some new lawyers again.
Be a man. I'm 40.
Be a
I'm a man.
Be a man.
All right. So there we go. That was our. Please write us in some great questions like those. Those are some good
Goose
ones.
step
right
your
there.
way into a new relationship.
Yeah, that's John's advice. Goose step. Hey, I am a Hitler. I love Nazis. It's like, what'd you say? Nothing.
Nothing.
All right. So, I don't even know where we're at right
I got the.
I just imagine.
You know what?
Shush, shush.
Not only does the show. Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna do.
Selfies. I imagine this guy goose stepping through the office now
can't even.
with a tiki torch.
Hey, ladies,
How are you doing?
Hello.
don't make me slap you, woman.
With a copy of Mein Kampf under his arm. It's like, wow, you really changed in a day.
We need that. We need.
What podcast are you listening to?
Do you think this guy here does sketch comedy? We can get him.
Who's that? Brett Withers. Oh, good old Brett Withers. All right, let's go to Blame Your Selfie. Every week we ask our attractive listeners, male and female. That way, all of you are beautiful to us. We ask you to send in your selfies to us. We play it, we show them on the show, and we give you a little bit of praise in the Blame Your Selfie segment. So we're going to get started. Away we go. First selfie of the week is the one, the only Pizza Dad Lives. This is Jeffrey Skinner. He is at his cubicle. He's rocking he's got the little, what's that thing called you wear around your neck?
Lanyard?
Lanyard. He's got the lanyard for his company. He's wearing the green shirt. He says, we'll call it hashtag Green Day. Oh, there you go, Lee. He must have listened to
He's a Dookie fan, I'm sure.
He somehow went, I don't think he is. I don't know why you would say that. Duke's not green, but he wore green, and you talked about Green Day. That's kind of weird. But anyways,
album anyway.
Can you put? We'll call it Green. Oh, Dookie. I thought you meant the Duke Blue Devils. We'll call it Green Day for Blame Your Selfie at BYB Pod Thursday Thoughts Workflow. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Next,
moving on. Let us know what your favorite Green Day album is.
Favorite Green Day album, Jeffrey
American
Skinner.
Idiot.
All right. This is David. This is me. Have you seen these things? These are the new things in Walmart. They're called Maskimals. And I actually went shopping.
You look like a furry.
I know.
He is a furry, actually.
You know what I found on the internet this week?
Oh,
Bronies for Trump. There's a real thing on the internet. It's so bizarre. But anyways,
you would be looking. That would be in your history.
Yes, it would be. I know. I can't wait till the CIA or whoever comes and gets me. Your podcast caused a man to turn into a Hitler clone at work. He was hitting all the women. All right, so
wait, you just admitted that
wearing
you
a
specifically
mask.
searched for bronies for Trump.
Somebody tweeted
don't
it.
lie. It's okay.
I wish
we're judgment free on this show.
I wish I was that.
No,
cool.
I'm judging.
I wish I was.
Shut up, John. Just go with it.
I wish I was that interesting. So these are called Maskimals, and all the kids are wearing them. Everybody. So I went to Walmart and I had to take a selfie
kids.
as a Maskimal. So that's hashtag Walmart edition, hashtag Maskimal. So you know about that. All right, this is Michael Anthony Nicholas. It says Monday is his birthday. His birthday is on the solar eclipse. That's pretty awesome. This picture was from outside my birthday surprise lunch in 2015. Looks like he was at Harold's in New York. I love New York, one of the best cities in the world. So, okay, this is Azalea. She started listening to the show because of Michael Anthony. He is a fan of her, and then she became a fan of the show. So it's kind of like the, circle fading each other. She says, thanks for the shirt, BYB Pod. Your podcast is hilarious, and I love your Southern accents. There you go.
We need more people to say that.
Yeah, come on.
I love you too, sister.
The green shirt has been the overwhelming best shirt, I would say, at this point. I don't want to insult any people that don't have a green shirt, but the green shirt, more people have requested it, and it looks pretty good for some reason.
It does look really good.
They pop, definitely.
It pops in that. Okay, so anyways, this is from Not Playing Stupid. He's in the chat. We definitely, we've been reading all your comments, man. We love them. They're great. They're so good I can't comment on all of them. But anyways, he says day drinking, and he said he's a stay-at-home dad, John. So, if you're insulting this man, there you go.
you need to get off the couch and go find a job, brother.
Get off your ass, boy. All right.
What are you going to do when the red, white, and blue rolls over you?
He says day drinking and manual labor is exhausting. I can't wait for this shop to be done. Hashtag wife's honey do list never ends. Hashtag blame your selfie. So go check out Not Playing Stupid podcast. It's phenomenal. They very similar to us. They go a little bit deeper,
a little bit harder
to the paint than we do, and it's very. I crack up at it all the time. And they're actually having the Dick Olympics, so they call their listeners dicks. So they're like, hey, what's up, dicks, or whatever. And they're having like the Dick Olympics where them and their co-host have these Olympic events they're trying to beat each other in. It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be funny.
It's going to be done live at a bar, so I can't wait to hear the results of that. This is River in his red shirt, which any bright color, I guess, looks really great in the pictures. It says, when your face gets blinged out, don't blame your selfie, blame your 4-year-old. So that's him and his wife, and his 4-year-old definitely hooked him up with some gems on his face. So there you go.
Bling, bling.
River, I hope you're feeling better. I know you got a cold today, and that's been going around for, I don't know, I hate summer colds.
Summer cold.
Oh, they're the worst. Well, sometimes it's a different
sniffle.
It's a little bit different. All right, here we go. This is Sam.
TiVo on the Beard. Check it out.
TiVo on the Beard. Please go to YouTube. Check those guys out. At Finger Podcast says, blame your brother. I will be in Florida for 1 week starting Saturday. Hashtag blame your selfie. He's got hashtag squad. #1 fan. Sammy is one of our big fans. He's always in the chat, and we appreciate all you do each week, and you always deliver with the selfies. So there we go. All right, then we got Bree Poe. I know she has started her new job. That's amazing. Anytime you step out from your old job, start a new job, it's fantastic. It says, finished my first full day as a freelance typist. Hire me at facebook.com/Benjamin Types. So go to that, guys. Facebook.com/Benjamin Types. Hashtag blame your selfie at
Did you just
BYB
say that
Pod.
guy?
Huh?
Did you just say go to that guy's website? Anyway.
Oh, I don't know.
Right, whatever.
I do got to bring up Sammy and Bree. I'm glad those two are back to back. Mandy does Little Geek Lost and the Pie podcast. And she sent me a message the other day and said that one of her listeners got a tattoo of her podcast logo on themselves, an actual legit tattoo. Now, I also know Adam listens to the show of Adam and JP podcast role. They also had a listener get a tattoo of Adam as a cartoon on themselves.
It's pretty rad.
So I just put it out there. I just said, who would be willing to get a Blame Your Brother tattoo? And
people come out of the woodwork.
Bree-Po and Sammy said they would do it if we paid for the tattoo. 100%. Are you guys even interested in going down this?
What is the tattoo going to be of?
Whatever they said. I mean,
yeah, I'm whatever.
I'm on board for that.
As long as it's actually Blame Your Brother related, not like, oh yeah, this is Eagle is Blame Your Brother.
Sammy says we have to go with him to do it.
I mean, of course.
Sammy, I'm telling you,
we will record
right now. You send us a date, that will happen. It will be videoed, and we will pay for it straight up, dude. Straight up, whatever the cost is, we'll pay for it. And Bree, if you're really gonna go get it, send us how much money you need. We'll send it, and I want this documented that this has to be done. Bree also made a YouTube video this week singing our praises, which we love. I mean, I love it more than these guys do, but
nobody loves it more than me.
She showed off her Blame Your Brother shirt, gave us a lot of praise, it was fantastic. So go watch that. We'll put that up on our YouTube. We'll put it up on Twitter and social media and all that. So go find it. But if Sammy and Bree are serious about this, I want to make this happen. I think this would be...
It's going to happen. You can't set David on something.
It's crazy, man. I can't even believe this is actually happening. Like, we're going to get people with tattoos of the... it's wild.
All right, well, we're running up against the hour.
All right. Well, the hour doesn't mean nothing. Let's go. All right, every week we got a Major Key segment. Let's go!
So let me give you a major key. Where is the key?
That's not the key. I want the key.
Give us the keys. So let me give you a major key.
And you really do have the key.
Everybody stand up right now. Everybody. I got the keys now.
There we go. It's time for our Major Key segment where we take a life lesson from this week's episode. We put it up there. It's a Major Key. Lee's going to send me this eventually, and we'll put it on the website. All right. What's the Major Key of the week? John, come on.
Nazi. If you got to hate a Nazi.
See, I was going to say that.
Oh, okay. Well,
but I'm thinking.
All right.
Your Blame Your John was almost a revelation to me.
What did he say?
Blame Your John.
Goose step through the office to get the ladies.
Because that'll win them over.
Bitches fall in line for a goose step.
Oh my God!
All right, just give us something. Just tell me what it is, David.
I don't know. That's pretty hardcore to the. I love, goose stepping. I don't know, man. I almost say. I mean,
goose stepping keeps the ladies checking.
I mean, I almost think we should say we hate Nazis just to put it out there where we're not sued over this episode. I mean, we can at least go back to the Major Key. Go, no, we did blatantly.
Look,
we typed it out. We
typed
out. We do hate Nazis. Do we want to go with goose step? Goose step for the ladies, or
no, goose step keeps the ladies? No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Goose step and keeps them.
All right. Chat, how about it? Goose stepping or Nazi hating?
Goose stepping or Nazi hating. That's got to be the episode title right there, dude. That's the best. Goose stepping or Nazi hating, dude. Oh my!
Could you get more like polar?
Goose stepping ain't Nazi hating.
Oh my God! Wow. Let's just for the time being, because we'll have to come back one day and defend some of these Major Keys. Let's just go with the Nazi hate. But in our minds, we really know. It was really,
so what is it? Nazi?
We hate Nazis?
Hate Nazis?
Hate Nazis.
Just hate Nazis.
And then in parentheses, we're going to put what?
Goose step keeps the ladies coming.
Watch the spelling.
Not putting that.
Yeah, do it. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow. Off the rails tonight. Okay, we got our Major Key in there. There we go. That's our Major Key of the week.
And you really do have the key.
Everybody
I don't even
right now.
I don't even want to be a part of the show anymore.
Too late. There we go. All right. So, hey, oh, John, how did you lead us there? Like, we were out of the woods. We literally we put up this brave front. A brave front. Oh no.
You had to say front, didn't you?
We gotta stop. We gotta stop.
You just can't do it.
Put up this brave front.
Keep your hands down before you like.
Oh, we no.
Give us just one. Just give us one real quick.
No, I can't.
Just do it.
I can't.
What's the number that comes after 8?
9?
What? No.
Wow, what an episode. Vladimir Putin called in. We learned about Nazis, goose stepping. Keeping the ladies in check. Wow. What an episode, guys. What an episode. I don't even know what to say. I do want real quick. Macklemore was...
What?
What's his haircut like?
I know, it was like Hitler. Macklemore was made by a user on Twitter to get rid of his Nazi haircut this week. And then the user's name was @fart.
Wait, what happened?
A user on Twitter who goes by @fart,
Yeah.
F-A-R-T, publicly shamed Macklemore into shaving his Hitler haircut.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's
There's still hope, people.
that's the state of the nation. All right, guys, that was Blame Your Brother, episode 54. Hopefully there will be an episode 55. If Antifa shows up next week, I'm out. I'm driving away. And if I happen to hit one of them, I don't care, dude. Oh, no.
Dude, you had to go there, didn't you?
Wow. The last 5 minutes are just, it's a mess of a show. All right. So, Blame Your Brother.
Edit button. Edit button.
I wish there was one. You can go to BYBpod.com. That's BYBpod.com. That's our website. Go check us out on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Go to youtube.com/Blame Your Brother. Please subscribe there. Check us out. Come hang with us every Thursday night. If you miss it, you can still watch the video on Friday mornings or any day during the week. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn. Tons of ways to listen to the show. Also, if you buy anything through Amazon, please use that Amazon link. You guys have been doing that. It's been great. We get a little bit of kickback for it. It helps the show. We still have some Blame Your Brother shirts. You saw them in the Blame Your Selfie. If you're live here, you've seen them on our social media. We still have some left, small, medium, extra large, and large. We still have some left. So if you want to buy them, we're only asking $7 that it ships them out to you and everything. So, and they're really good shirts from what I hear. And like I said, there's now a contact form on the website. You can go just type in your message for Dear John. He'll get it, or send us in telling us we're idiots, whatever you want to do. And never forget to support Radio Vegas Rocks. If you go to radiovegas.rocks, you can listen to our episodes on Thursday at 3 p.m. Central Time. Not only us, but there's a ton of other great shows on that network. And Jay and his crew have been great. One of their co-hosts wore a shirt this week. He got a lot of likes, so we appreciate that. It was fantastic. And donate to the show if you need to. Kick us some money and do all that good stuff. So, hey, guys, just go check out the website. Tell all your friends about it. Support the show. We appreciate it so much. Next Saturday, we'll mention on next week's episode, but Rockin' Pod Expo. Get that lined up where you can go do that. And I guess with that being said,
don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.
Was that what did you just do there?
It wasn't like the one you did.
Oh, my God.
What's the German word for no?
They don't have one.
I don't know. Do they have one? I don't know. I know Der Kartoffelsalati Schleck.
Wow. I can't believe you just said that.
Woo!